So the question is, has a rap album ever won the Grammy for Album of the Year? I'm not talking any genre specific category. I'm talking about the major cross genre Album of the Year award. Now, the Grammys have been controversial, just like any major event or institution. There's always some conversation around what's fair, what's not fair, who should have won this, why does this artist or genre not get the credit or awards that they deserve. But if you broaden the scope and really look at the Grammys and look at where society was when the Grammys got started, the Grammys started in 1959. I actually think that the Grammys have been more progressive than the outer society. Like, you had songs with Louis Armstrong winning like in the early to mid 60s, winning Song of the Year. I think it was Hello Dolly. I think the first black artist to win the Album of the Year award, not a rap artist, but a black artist to win Album of the Year award, was Stevie Wonder in the early 70s. He actually won that award 3 times throughout the 70s, one of the greatest stretches in music history, really. And for Record of the Year, you had The Fifth Dimension, which was a black group with Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo. The Fifth Dimension won Record of the Year twice. They won it in the late 60s and in the beginning of the 70s with Up, Up and Away and Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In. So the Fifth Dimension was winning Grammys, major Grammys, during the Jim Crow era. So the Grammys, I feel, have comparatively, compared to other organizations and institutions, I feel like the Grammys have been pretty progressive. No, it hasn't been perfect. Yes, if you look through the 60s and 70s, you could find instances where there were brilliant R&B albums, jazz albums that didn't get, wins in the major categories. But again, I think that they've been pretty good when it comes to recognizing black art and black artists over the years. But if we're gonna look specifically at hip hop, I do think that hip hop has, kind of been slow to be embraced over the years by the Recording Academy. Like, for a while, MC Hammer was the only nominee as a rap artist in the Album of the Year category. He didn't win it, but MC Hammer was the first rap artist to be nominated for Album of the Year. It was for his, epic Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, which, it's so poppy that, like the rap community barely even recognizes that as rap. I don't think that that's totally fair, but MC Hammer was about as dancey and as poppy as you could get for rap in the early 90s. And it would be another 5 years before there was even another rap nominee for Album of the Year. It was the Fugees with The Score. They dropped it in 96, so it would have been the 97 Grammys when they were actually nominated. They didn't win, but the Fugees were the second rap artist to be nominated for Album of the Year. By the time you get to like the early 2000s, you started getting more rap nominees, with Eminem and with Kanye West, and then, Drake and Kendrick Lamar down the line. They've had a lot of rap nominees. Cardi B, you've had a lot of rap nominees since. But the question is, has a rap album by a rap artist won the award for Album of the Year? I think that the answer is kind of, and I will explain. In 1999, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill won Album of the Year. That was a year where Lauryn Hill had a handful of Grammys, right? We see every few years, there's just somebody who takes home a lot of Grammys. Like, we saw Billie Eilish win a bunch of awards when she came out with her debut album. There have been years where, Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston, sometimes Adele has been the handful Grammy winner. We see that sometimes. And in 1999, for the 98 album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was that artist. So it was her in 1999, and then 5 years later, Outkast, who had already been nominated before with Stankonia a couple years prior, they won Album of the Year in 2004 for the 2003 album Speakerboxxx, The Love Below. So the question was, has a rap album by a rap artist won the award? And the reason I say kinda is because let's look at The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. There are some songs that feature rapping, Lost Ones, Doo-Wop, That Thing, and there are a couple of others. But if you look at a lot of that album, X Factor, to Zion, Nothing Even Matters, Everything Is Everything. I don't think Everything Is Everything had any rapping on it, but Can't Take My Eyes Off You, the Frankie Valli cover. Most of that album is non-rap. And yes, a couple of the singles, Lost Ones and Doo-Wop, That Thing, had rap on it, and that contributed greatly to her winning that album of the year. So was the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill truly a rap album? I think that the answer is kinda. I mean, she sang, even on the songs that she was rapping on, she sang on those same songs. So there's more singing than rapping on the album, but there is a fairly significant amount of rap on the album. So I say kinda to that one. And then if we look at Outkast, Speakerboxxx, The Love Below. Now, if Outkast were to have won with Stankonia, I would have said, yes, a rap album right there. Stankonia with Bombs Over Baghdad, So Fresh and So Clean, Miss Jackson. You know, they had some hits on that album and it was rap throughout the album. Yes, they did have some singing on it, but just about every song on that album, if not every song on that album, had rapping on it. But if you look at Speakerboxxx, The Love Below, it was a divided double album. There was the Big Boy side, Speakerboxxx. There was the Andre side, The Love Below. Now, the Speakerboxxx Big Boy side was very much a rap album. It was. But on the Andre side, there was only one song on that whole side, that whole Love Below side of the album, that featured Andre rapping. It was like the last track of the album. So you've got one disc that is a rap album, and then the other disc is a non-rap album. And if you look at what drove, what energized that album to win Album of the Year, 2 out of the 3 main singles were non-rap. So on the Big Boy side, it was The Way You Move. That was a hit single, a big hit single. And it was Big Boy rapping on that song and Sleepy Brown of Organized Noise singing on the hook. And then the other 2 main singles, and you could argue probably the biggest main single, Hey Ya, that was very much a popish, that was a pop song, a very fun and playful pop song. That was not a rap song. That was largely the main catalyst that drove this album to win Album of the Year. And then if you look at the other one, Roses, right? Andre singing on it, that's that Caroline, Caroline. Like, I used to love that song, but Andre singing throughout that song, it's very funky. But then you did have a guest appearance from Big Boy who was rapping towards the end of Roses. So that song did feature some rap on it. But if you look at the other Andre single, Prototype, that had a music video, that was all singing, no rapping. So there was a lot of funk on that side. There's a lot of pop. There's a lot of, soul. There's just different genres on that Love Below side. And again, the Speakerboxxx side was rap. But I still feel like the appropriate answer is kinda. I still feel like a rap album hasn't won the Grammy for Album of the Year. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, kinda. Speakerboxxx, The Love Below, kinda. I could understand. I mean, let me know if you feel like because of those 2 wins that the answer is yes. I still don't fully feel like a hip hop album has won Album of the Year. And there are 0 rap nominees this year in this year's Grammys for Album of the Year. So we're gonna have to wait at least another year before a rap album has a chance at winning Album of the Year. But it's kind of funny because Andre 3000 with his New Blue Sun, which is not a rap album, it's an experimental ambient jazz album, it's nominated for the major Album of the Year award. So it would be kind of funny. I don't think he's gonna win. He's up against like Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, Beyonce. Like, there's some heavy hitting competition for Album of the Year. I'd be shocked if a ambient jazz album won Album of the Year. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Has a rap album won Album of the Year? Again, we're talking Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Speakerboxxx, The Love Below. Again, there have been other nominees, but those are the 2 arguably rap albums that have actually won it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.